So we loaded up and went to Coos Bay, Oregon, and we had a little cabin there and plus a little tent. And I got a job in a lumber mill, and I think Darrell worked up in the logging industry up in the hills. In the meantime, Rex and Marge got flooded out in Washington where they lived, and so they came down and to live with us. And Rex got a job at the sawmill where I was working, and we done pretty good there for a while. And Dad started drinking again, and it got pretty bad. So we just loaded up, Mom and Dick and Bev and Rex and Marge and me. We went to Salem, Oregon, and left Dad there, Darrell, and we went up there, and Marge was pregnant, and we tried picking strawberries, and Marge was so sick she'd pick a while and then puke a while. We all got a kick out of it, but she had a rough time. Anyway, we was there a while, and Dad and Darrell showed up. Well, Dad was drunk, and he was going to whip me and Rex because we took Mom and left. So we finally calmed him down and talked him out of it. And Darrell and Rex and I got a job up in the hills in a sawmill, worked for a while, and I have a hard time remembering exactly the next event, but anyway, we left there and went to Toledo, Oregon, and we got a job in a sawmill there. And I don't remember too much about Dad at this point, but I do know that when we left Toledo, Darrell stayed there, and Rex and Marge stayed there, and we went to Yuma, Arizona at that time. I got a job in a cement factory making irrigation pipes, and so at that point, I talked to my sister Beverly to find out some of the things that happened while they left and I stayed there. So she wrote down that they went to Huron, California, Bakersfield, California, Somerton, Arizona, Avondale, Arizona, and back to Somerton, and East Highland, California, Linnell, California, Ryde, California, Thornton, California, Vernales, California, back to Somerton, Huron, Thornton, Somerton, and Gila Bend, and then to Wickenburg, Arizona. Now, in between some of this time, Beverly had a boyfriend out there. We were living, all of us living together. We were picking in the lettuce, working in the lettuce down there at Yuma. So he wanted to go see Beverly, and they were in Thornton, California. And so we loaded up and went up there, and when we got there, Dad was drunk and was broke and sold all of his tools to buy wine, and he was in awful shape. So we took off and got down the road a few miles, and I said, I can't leave him like this. I'm going to have to do something. So we went back up there, and I talked Dad into going back to Somerton, that's close to Yuma, and so I drove his car and took Bev and Dick and Mom and we headed back toward Yuma. Well, it was late at night, and I got really sleepy, and I told him I was going to have to stop and get a little bit of sleep. So pulled off the road and right at a driveway to a farmhouse and looked over, and it looked empty, so we drove over to the farmhouse, and it was empty. So we went in, and Dad carried a mattress on top of his car, and so we laid that mattress down, and we camped out there, and that's when he was coming off that wine, and I thought he was going to die. He was shaking and sweating, and at that point, he never, ever, ever took a drink again. That's when he actually stopped. So we finally got back to Yuma. My memory is a little bad on some of these things that happened, but when we got back to Yuma, I joined the Army, and from that point, I relied on Beverly to continue with the story, and they finally ended up in Wickensburg, Arizona. And when I got a furlough, I went out there to visit them, and Dad was a caretaker for this dude ranch, and they seemed to be doing pretty good. So from that point, I have to depend on secondhand knowledge. Bev went to work for somebody out of state as a waitress, and I'm not sure exactly the story on that, but anyway, Paul and Mary went out to visit Mom and Dad, and when he found out that Mom wasn't very happy, and Bev was out of state, and she was only 15 or 16, he loaded Mom up, and they went and got Bev, and come back to Indiana, and Dad stayed out there. And I don't know how long after they got back to Indiana that before he came back. So, but I know he came back. I might mention too that all the traveling we did out west was in a 1928 Dodge car. I was in the Army during all this, so I don't know what happened after that. I was in the Army for 3 years, and when I came home, Dad and Mom was living next door to